Jin Shan Zan Bama Gezer Dombo La Yam Zan Joga Mutu Bama Joni Jiza Zhang Goda Wando Mambo Go Jiji Jiza Dodru Shinji Labja Jaza Zangura Bama Zada Ho Jin Yajin Shan Bama Gezer Dombo La Yam Zan Joga Mutu Bama Joni Jiza Zhang Goda Wando Mambo Jiji Jiza Dodru Shinji Labja Jaza Guru Bama Zada Ho Jin Yajin Shan Bama Gezer Dombo La Yam Zan Joga Mutu Bama Joni Jiza Zhang Goda Wando Mambo Jiji Jiza Dodru Shinji Labja Jaza Guru Bama Zada Oma Hum Banzar Guru Bama Zada Oma Hum Banzar Guru Bama Oma Hum Banzar Guru Bama Zada Oma Hum Banzar Guru Bama Zada Oma Hum Banzar Guru Bama Zada Oma Hum Banzar Guru Sarda Oma Hum Banzar Guru Bama Zada Oma Hum Banzar Guru Bama Zada Uma Hum Banzar Guru Bama Sarda Uma Hum Banzar Guru Bama Sarda Uma Hum Banzar Guru Bama Sarda Ho Jila Da Jang Sora Da Bi Da So Gang Da Ni Bi Sabjo Na Dang Warmbon Dabzu Jewa Gajin Berum Za Da Sora Chumdun Dim Gombon Jang Horang La Shang Za Lo Ganga Lodrö Dumni Dengzhe Nye Da Nam Da Ra Se Jinye Donggen Jimshen Zibsher Nye Ji Da Gara La Wam Za Tang Da Zhibi Zhura Maru Mantang Dengara Jizer Lo Zo Gan La Wa Ji Dar Zi Yan La Zhib Ji Yang Da Zhigdara Jie Zhou Nye Mo Nye Long Li Ji Zhou Zhou Zhom Za Maru Ma Se Dengara Nye Ge Jinye Zhom Za Ra Zhe Doni Da Zha Sabjin Da Zong Yun Da Li Zo Jia Zhi Da Wu Zha 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 Da Zha Ni Jian Zhen Da Lu Ma Jiang Hu Ra Yang Lan Da Da Umara Ba Za Nar 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 Da Nardo Marabaza Nardo Marabaza Nardo Marabaza Nardo Marabaza Nardo Marabaza Nardo Marabaza Marabaza Nardo Marabaza Nardo Marabaza Nardo Marabaza Nardo Marabaza Marabaza Nardo Sidana Jiji Jero Wozere Ji Dalo Dam Mamba Rasan Kwadang Dam Ju Jean Le Doba Fubi Nawa Jeta Soro Nyaji Jimbo Zodun Yimi Zhang Zoni Molon Jimbo Ngajat Bakara Dangam Zandu Sharma Do Tumba Tiji Janla Shansar Lo Oya Tanita Teranga Tsundana Tani Poruk Tani Panda Nambata Tani Nushok Mata Tani Jargrim, Tani Mambos Femdik, Tani Tsangmala, Tomar, Tani Gomo Delag, Joyin.
Tonight we have in our audience Tibetans and Westerners and Chinese. Firstly, I'd like to say good evening to everybody.
Tani Natsu Terang Lakang Dinang La, Tani Bor Jarg. Tani Nupshokuma, Tani Dindi Mambos Nyamdan Zomni, Tani Tsama, Tani Tambi Chu Nyamba, on the Nitana, Tani Narang Ranglayang, Tani Tamchipola, Tani Tambi Chu Shadju, Tani Korku, Tani Shongwala, Tani Pe Sim Gabo Shonsong.
I'm extremely pleased and extremely happy to have the chance to give a teaching on the Dharma here to the audience, which is comprised of Tibetans and Chinese and Westerners all gathering here together.
Tani ngarang so tambi chu toni shanana, tani yarik zeyan data, porik zeyan data, tani 지금 넙쇼고 뭐지한다 tani 그 머르크군이야 예와는 tani 지금 가게요 말이
when we're talking about the Dharma, then saying Chinese or Westerner or Tibetan, there is no need to make these distinctions between different ethnicities or peoples.
tani 지금 머르 가로제한다 머르 낙보제한다 머르 세로제한다 tani 그 tani 또 머르직 그 돈이야 예와양 요 말이
Similarly, there's no need to make distinctions or to discriminate between people who are white or black or yellow.
tani 가서 잠볼한 그 샤르쇼제하다 넙쇼제하다 tani 그 예와양 또 담비추 돈이잖아 지지요 말이
And likewise, no need to make distinctions between people who are from the east and those who are from the west.
tani 아메리카 자르크제한다 tani 지 자르크 잠바제한다 tani 자르크 잔섬 그 예와양 또 델라 지지요 말이 담비춘데라
And from the point of view of the Dharma, similarly, no point in making distinctions in terms of the countries that people come from, in terms of national borders.
다 덴디인디 가수 담비 추인디 가수 데니 지다 머남지 지더니 더 샤쇼다 너쇼거 예와 머르거 예와 머르거 세로다 나포 가로지 바텐디거 예와 덴디거 예와 망보 우스 가수 시오 덴디거 예와 망보 시오 때 데니 가수 담비 추고 예와 때 참마 매바신디 때 추고 돈이 다 덴디 시작요 그래 남바 춘디 돈이
So in terms of Dharma, it's important that we don't make these distinctions and bring these distinctions into the Dharma, these distinctions between ethnicities and nationalities and this people and that people.
tani sanje shatyata pa chute thomar jagar la tani shongwe nerkamna tani jagar ka nangla samlo tangna murg je yewate halepa ga taram ga yewate halepa ga ti kaps sarota tani yewate so parla tani tin thapsut 대양 하정은 용장 된디 체위 강 된디 지리
When Buddhism arose in India, they had a very clear differentiation between the four castes in Indian society, which was a source of great conflict.
옛날에 티카스 tini 산지 좀 된데가 소나 tini 당가서 tini 먹르 대소 마레스 tini 먹 자름금 통문 대양 tini 소 마레스 tini 슬라 tini 셰르비오나 냥지오나 즈바 냠리니오나 소종 약보요나 대소월에 마토바 대 잠바티소 소 마레소니 tini 송바레스.
And the Buddha did not recognize these distinctions. He said that is not the basis on which to differentiate people, their caste or their class. In fact, what we should be judging people by or differentiating them by is their wisdom, their compassion, their realization, and their learning.
tani 상지 나랑 소고더니 똥바 tini 송요티 tini 나랑 탐지 보여 디 진지긴디 똥바랑 거 강터랑 송바티 지슬람닌 도야 마토바 잠바 요 마레스.
Aside from taking vows and proceeding in the Dharma, there was no other path to take.
다 딘디인디 나저 담비추 차버렸더니 탁바 침보고도 담비추 뒤통에 샤나 이는 아주 상마 되니 미르 남 탐시본 잠님바 마스 되니 모당 쪽착 되니게 빠라요 상마 잠님 그거니 되니 조요리.
So in terms of the Dharma and in particular the Mahayana tradition, it's important that we not just have a view of equality between all people, but also between people and animals, and this is the path in which we need to follow.
딘디인디 되니 가서 베나 대랑 가서 딘디 담비추 샤파 딘디 값스 되니 가서 머르 가로였나 낙보였나자 야나 가서 되니 야였나 보였나 되니 납쇼바였나 세였나 담시 냠든 좀니 담시 보시지르 그거니 되니 출라로종제야 딘디도 가서 tomba 상지 런거 투공 투제땅 텀바 딘디즈리스.
So that we Tibetans and Chinese and Westerners are gathering here and are studying the Dharma together without these differentiations and distinctions is in complete harmony and accordance with the intention of the Buddha and the spirit of the Dharma.
딘디인디 가서 담비 추고니 되니 다 고샤 바로 고샤 자야타와 딘디즈요나 앞에나 가서 보바가 추이나요 되니 가서 보그 추도 ngarang cho shi bo yin zini ta tin ri ma yin ba tin zambalang gam mo si na korang cho dojong shin dongken korang cho nyamsil nin dongken tin ri yin na o tin nga chu chund ngarang cho bo ba ga chu nga cho bo ba shi bo ma to ba zambalang nga chu go sha jab kum zini tin ri zejin yo mare zege yo mare tan zambalang gam sala yin na tin par tin go sha jab tamchi bola jin goya tin ri zri.
And the idea that the Dharma is the preserve of Tibetans and doesn't belong to anybody else, or that it belongs to Tibetans and shouldn't be shared with other people, is completely unfounded. Anybody who has the desire to learn the Dharma and to practice the Dharma is equally welcome and entitled to take part in the tradition.
Tani sanji chumdende nyangan len devi kapsa tani konga tani pe namba ni go ne pejut namba ni go ne tani koranga tani chuta maung bana tani gandhi shine semchen thamchola gosha jab go mal go te koranga saru sung yores.
The Bezinanta.
Pejut.
Oh, Pejut. Oh, yeah. He gave 2 examples of the way that the Dharma would proceed in the future, the Buddha. The Buddha gave these examples.
Peshte kangre zena tani sanje ga songne ta pena tani jarwo ta chongba chigla tani mushikbu ta shikbu zena choko mahachang ga shikbu tani zigla tani korang la tani po mangbo tani to yores korang chikpola purjit hachang mangbo yores tani ta tangbo te zena choko te korang la po hachang mangbo yores.
So one of the examples he gave was of an extremely wealthy person, a business person, a person with a lot of wealth who also had a lot of sons.
Tani shikbo de korang po mangbo di pa de tani ta ko shiwi kapsu tani po kashi korang ga tani ta zabla tani korang ga zhongla ndge yores kashi shologla tani chong japsa ta tani mangchi wasu shologla tani chong japya ta leka leya ta tani dondagla tani song yores.
He said that when he passes away, that some of his sons will stay and look after the household, but most of them would have to go outside and work, do business, make money.
Tani ti kapsa tani tari shikbo gabo shikbo ti a koranga ramla yongken koranga zhongla yongken ga tani bu cheshu de sola tani ngarang ga tani jin de so tamchi po tani tartang ne kyoso lala tani jaga yensi. 옛날 디 나니 테니 다른 나랑라 테니 부하장 망보요. 그래서 참아 다스탄다나 요 말했다. 이나 코소 마옹바나 코소 참아 설 리뷰용 그래. 디 값스 코소 리뷰용에 그러나 테니 나랑 그 지연도 소탐죠 보. 데 코소 라라 야보 신이 고샤 잡니 코소라 짜고 딩겐테 테니 결혼 sol라 요즈네. 테니 머식보디 테니 샤니 테니 코랑 시송어레스.
So before he died, he gave instructions to his son, who was closest to him, that in the future, all of his riches and inheritance should be divided up among the greater number of sons.
Well, that's an
that's the example or the story he told, but the meaning of it was.
Tung umati kangrezina tini sanji gatani ta koranga chusone ta korang nyangan lendeje tani ta tal tini jabdgiens tani inna tini korang jamtela ti kapsa ta koranga jungna yongken gatani ti lomati solana ti koranga tini ko ungu gatani chu mambo tini ta chusola tini ta song char songsi chu mambo korang sola tini te song char songsi ta kyo te korang ta tomba korang kumdan la yongken ko lomati sola te ko sola tini chu mambo korang tini ta lo mambo la kyo sola chu mambo song yores.
So the Buddha said this as he was preparing to pass into nirvana. He said to his closest disciples around him, I've given you a great number of teachings, I've taught you a lot of Dharma.
Yena teni ta mahachang mamboz tarong teni sanji chude teni nyan koso nyan teni te korkup teni te tobyo maris.
But still, at that time, there were a lot of people who hadn't had the opportunity to hear the Dharma being preached.
이나 되니 망보 대소 탐주부 마음바나 칼레 코소 용네 되니 코랑소 용네 되니 코랑소라양 되니 춘더 코랑소 냔게 되니 그 고급도 코소라 용거레스 마음바나.
But he said in the future there will be people who come to hear the Dharma, and they should have the opportunity in the future to hear it as well.
되니 코소 된지도 마음바나 코소라 고급 요비 김승강레제나 되니 산지가 손에 되니 못대서 탐주보 되니 코랑 랑거 되니 다 이연 하장 랑볼로 하장 망볼라 되니 코소라 nga마 나라 코소라 추망보 시안니 되니 코소라 되니 소소고 셈거 나라 되니 사운 박착 되니 데 코소라 지거래 옛나 네르컵스 다른 코소 용 되니 추년게 거그 마용으로다 마음바나 산지 공거 되니 소소고 셈거 나라 되니 사운 답 된디시오비 점선지 마음바나 코소 니버트 용네 춘데 되니 냥거레.
So the important thing was to be sowing the seed in the consciousnesses of these people, so that perhaps at this point in time they might not be able to hear the Dharma or learn it, but in the future they certainly would.
다 되니 산지가 되니 콩 되니 다 냥을 낸데로 그래서 옛날 다 코랑 콩거 추대 되니 교랑소고 다 라란 적거 연세 되니 마음비 못대소때 고소 용디 되니 콩거 추대 인담마다 코랑소고 라바나라 약보스 되니 스트라고 손에 되니 손바레스.
And then the Buddha said, who he was preparing to pass into nirvana, was nearing this point, and he said, so now the job is in your hands to pass the Dharma on to the future generations of people who come to, who aspire to hear it.
That indi derang achola tini bena murkaroyen nanda, naboyen nanda, seroyen nanda, tani chitini yayen nanda, boyen nanda, tani nipshokomayen nanda, korang sis yone ngala chulgozine korang tini lakbazin kentendizgona, tinga so korang lakbi nala jogore, tinga so lengan res.
So similarly today, when there are all kinds of people, Tibetan people, Chinese people, Western people who want to hear the Dharma, indeed the responsibility of today is to pass these teachings into the hands of the people who want to hear it.
Teni te pechigre, teni pe nipati kangrezena, teni sanjega sone, perna ta nyamat me dawa me, teni karma yang me pi nerkam sammu mannak. Oh, teni ziknala, teni mambo zikateni ta koso, teni lam hajang nyenka chimbo, teni zik par teni rogona, teni matsama lala, drumme me, look, tati kapsi yo mata, drumme me, chichi me nazi. Mena mambo, teni ta pandro gui kaps, ti kaps karte muchik lana, teni marmin, teni yo nazi.
The other example that he spoke of was a future day or at some point in time where there's no moon and there's no stars and there's no sun, there is no illumination, the world is cast into darkness, and people have to walk along a path, a road in great danger with no torch or no lantern to guide their way, that if just one person standing there held a lantern in their hand,
teni pena muschik laglati mahachang mambuti nana muschik la korangla teni lagbag nangla marme yona teni korang marme tela teni korang lamkha yakboz lagne teni korang teni lamchang nyenka chan teni parola teni thun sonasi tati muti teni karishe gorezi ti romete te kone teni sala yujak goreta karishe gorezi.
So if that person who was holding the lantern managed to traverse that dangerous road and reach the end of it, what should they do? Should they put it down? What should they do with the lantern then?
Tati kapsa ngarang su samlo tangna gandhi shego sare. Garti muti korang gata ngarang lagbaga nani rumenda la tenne ngarang lamkayak boz laksong tan riksong samne te yujak goreta yana teni muti ti rumete shersone mo jambate sola chak gores.
So, what do we think that person really should do? That having safely reached the end of this dangerous road from themselves, that they should, having reached the end of it themselves feeling happy, just put it down or cast it away, or should they pass it on to others?
Gartiti kapsatini muti korangatini te lapa nala yo chi domete teni korang paror to son services teni salaigine teni meba shejana teni mutsama salotana ta teni digbore ni digjagrezini teni zekiris.
Of course, if the person who reached the end of the road were just to throw it on the ground and do no more, then of course everybody would say that person's terrible and bad and evil.
Tani ta onati kandiche gorezena tani ngaso terandi nala yongken ga mutsama zena kandi samgerezena tani ngaso tsama tumungdo chigir go ne ngaso sama oti muti tani marmite jambala tagore mato tini thangla ine mebashina tindu kamare ngaso samati samgres.
I think everybody here tonight would definitely be of the opinion that the thing to do would be to pass the lantern on to somebody else, and certainly not to fling it on the ground and destroy it.
This thing pejapa mare this haje pejapa pe ni po de haje rang song bare ndo na la yore.
Both of those examples are not my own personal examples. They're both examples or metaphors that the Buddha spoke of himself there in the sutras.
Ta tenji endi tene ta te pere teni don te kanrezena don upote korangate pete karisha ke yozena teni ngacho sangji ge song la lojong che teni sangji ge song la nyamlin che ne ngacho Gandhi gozare, teni Gandhi shina teni ta demo tang kebo yonsare, Gandhi shina ngachola dengmur yonsare samjit teni ngacho hago yores. Teni hago yona ta ngarang chipo hago ya te jamba chigla mafshen ni teni ngarang teni ta ta jig chigla mafshen ni teni shini nduna teni ta ngacho benda mosjig boti korang ga marme la teni korang chi parola son savi jis teni marme thangla ik batang teni chigbaris.
So it's really the same. What this example is really saying is that it's like us. If we study the Dharma, we study how to be happy, how to alleviate our suffering, benefit from the Dharma, but then enjoying the benefits that it brings us, don't pass that teaching or knowledge onto other people, then this is exactly the same as casting the lantern onto the ground and not concerning oneself about passing it on to others.
Tendri ta ngacho ngarang cho tini lama gwadren la tini ngacho ta sangji chu gandhi drib gozare gandhi shina tharwa thosare gandhi shina tini khorwa na la rosare samjit tini ngacho ha goyores goyo na tini ngacho tini goyo pateta janla jengore tini ngacho wungen.
So our responsibility is with the great kindness of our teacher, knowing how to practice the Dharma, how to achieve liberation, how to transcend samsara. With this understanding, it's our responsibility to pass that on to others.
Tendi yendi teni ngacho yewa mambo sheni pena teni chi teni ta ngacho chunda chigla jin chigla mojin tendi ngacho tendi yewa mambo shena.
So if we, bearing this in mind, if we decide to discriminate against who we are going to teach the Dharma to or who we're going to share it with and who we're not, discriminating between this person and that person, then this behavior or this stance is in direct contradiction with the commandment of the Buddha.
Teni sangji chu ngarang so so teni chenpo shinanda chongchong shinanda ngarang so shiwa te ngaso simsin tamche pola jinya te teni ngaso rang teni lengen res.
So it's our duty, regardless of whether we only know a little Dharma or we know a lot, to pass that on to others.
Teni kyorang so teni so teni toptang de kangrezena teni ta yayen nanda poyen nanda teni noshok mayen nanda teni muru garoyen na nakboyen nanda musin nanda teni kyorang so toptang de kangrezena tang ngala teni sanji ge chute ngala gozeni kyorang so teni yongni sanji ge chute lensa yongje 티켜 상말라 티 톱탕도 요리.
So having just spoken about duty, what is the right of everybody here? What is your right? Well, your right is, regardless of whether you're Tibetan or Chinese or Western or whatever your background is, whether you're a white person or a black person, etc., your right is to request the teaching of the Dharma, to say, this is what I need, to request this teaching. That is everybody's right.
Tini ti 톱탕도 교소라 스그 잡아래잖아. 나초 tini 교소라 톱탕도 잡아 말이 상지 좀 든데 랑거 참말라 톱탕도 짜요리.
And who was the grantor of this right, or who was the giver of this right? It was the Buddha and no one else.
든지 인디 가서 마웅바나 베날 하강 든지가 나라 tini 추샤나 tini 가서 모바이난자 야연난자 너쇼코마연난자 tini 탐시 용네 tini 창마가 디 추 까르와 베나가서 고샤즈 잡아연나다 창마라 까르와티 요레데 까르와티 렌나 디 톱탕 수솔라 요레데 상지 좀 든데 공바담 텀바리.
So in the future, when everybody gathers in halls, Dharma centers like this, it's the right and prerogative of everybody, regardless of their background, to and without distinction, to request teaching of the Dharma.
Tani ngaso shusoko tolashanna benamer karoyena nohoyenanja tani chi sharshoko noshoko matinji ewa mangbo yorisi yinda bena ngaso hakang dindri jignala yongni changma ndikcharwini kavna changman ramnimri titola yo kagayo mare.
So in everyday society, of course, there are so many distinctions and differentiations between all kinds of different people. But when we gather in a Dharma space like this, in an assembly hall or a shrine, then none of those differences or distinctions should make any difference whatsoever. And this is the equality that the Buddha speaks of.
Tani ramnim nipa de kanglezena namba sanji pa nangla tani gewa mergewa tani lejimde zene penanga so jarkub ko tani chu chhamtawa tani go tani to tan dandi shina geware dandi shina digbare on dandi shina yagbo yongore dandi shina digbo yongore zene tani koranga tani sadun tawa tani zo tani talla phabyores gewa ch mergewa ch tawa tani zo zawa tani lejimde tani yores.
What we just spoke about, the first kind of equality, the equality of everybody gathering in a Dharma space together, was the first kind of equality. The second kind of equality is the equality that exists in society in terms of laws that lay out what kind of behavior is virtuous, what kind of behavior is not virtuous, what kind of behavior will bring good results, bad results.
Then lejimri thola tani soso rang tani lejimri thola situng yakboshi tani gewa jib tani yakboshi na perna nangba la lojong shenken na tani korang deva chan lan jore higher lan jore ten rawaz ke yishi chulgla tani lojong shenken zina tani korang higher lan jore muslim ke tani te chula lojong shenken zina korang higher lan jore chulu sidang sidang korang gewa jimken tani jam tamsi bola pamba dumkun ko musgina sina teni te korang ta higher land rona da dewa chan land rona da tundro re ma to pate ngaso chulu khashis dewa chan land re khashin ro mare ji tin ewa yo mare.
So in terms of the principle of cause and effect, this applies to everybody equally, regardless of their religious view and their idea of where they're going to pass into after they die, whether that be heaven or pure land or...
Tani karti li jimde tela tani tsung yakpo mashini tani dugba mergiwa tani shinana tani nambala lojong shenken zigina tani ta higher landro thapko mare dewa jala che thapko mare ten rawaz ko chulu jamba ina tani thapko mare te saman ramnimri.
So regardless of what one's religious faith is, if they don't adhere to the law of cause and effect as it pertains to their religious tradition, whether it be a Buddhist and their idea of what results their virtuous behavior will bring, or a Christian who adheres to their particular idea of good behavior and the results that will bring, then the result is ultimately the same.
Teyan sati teni namba sanji pa tawayina na pena tanga so namba la teni yichi shenkan teso sangma teni ta dewa chanlan rore ma to ba jamba thamshin ro mareze teni zeg mares.
From the Buddhist point of view, saying that, we Buddhists are going to go to, Amitabha's Pure Land and everybody else is not. This is not a proper view.
So
when we talk about equality in terms of the law of cause and effect, then this is the second kind of equality we're talking about. And the third kind of equality that we can talk about, that the Buddha spoke about, was that everybody, regardless of their own religious tradition, has their own particular set of values. So it's important that even if you're a Buddhist and you have a Buddhist faith and the desire to practice as a Buddhist, at the same time, it's very important to maintain respect of other people and their own religious faiths and traditions.
Tani karti pena moschi ko tini khorang ko namba la tini tapashing mundupa mundunkan tini zigena tini ngaso kyo yinda manda ngaso namba la tapashi go zini tini ze choko mare ze tini zena ngaso tini shangship senhwa ga tini shangship senhwa ga domba dan gan ro res.
If, for example, there's a person who's not interested in believing in Buddhism or who's not interested in studying Buddhism, but we force it upon them that they do so, well, this kind of behavior is in contradiction with the Bodhisattva vow.
Tani karte korang ju chulu jamba tendizula teni ta tapashingang muyin nanja yana chulu gen nanja Deta kantang kangla yana teni ta ngaso yakboyen teni ta kyoso digbore chuluk te digbore zene teni chiglang teni zechokmare karti teni zena teni sang ka domba trigba de langandro chigni sunje nga trigba de langandro res.
And similarly, by criticizing people of other religious faiths, saying, you're bad or you're inferior, insulting or disparaging people of other religious faiths, well, this is in contravention of the sixth tantric vow. Similarly, we Buddhists are all good and all those non-Buddhists are bad. This kind of way of viewing things is also not permissible. So this is the third kind of equality. So in keeping with these three kinds of equality, then people, whether they be Tibetan or Chinese or Westerner, regardless of their background, they need to proceed in accordance and in harmony with these three equalities.
티초 인다 만다 타바 요구 인증 문증 가솔라 타바시고 딘리앙 제그마리 드니 카티초 타바싱킨스 있나 드니 가서 디나라 예와 망보시네 드니 다직 드니 지카로 나보 딘리 예와 딘리앙 시그마리 티 코랑 타바시나 시나 시나초 디 마시나 지라양 드니 더 인다 만다 시고즈니 딘리 제그마리 드니 티 가서 짜든지스.
So our, the basic point is, or the basic principle, is really that it's not all right for us as Buddhists to inflict or impose our views on other people who are not interested in taking them on. Similarly, among those of us who do have Buddhist faith, to engage in all kinds of barrier making and discrimination and distinctions among Buddhists themselves is similarly not okay.
대인비 김선지 드닝아주 보크추 타와이나 드닝아주 잠발랑가 너블라이나자 잠발랑가 샬라이나자 드니 보마인비 사차잠바 강당 강란조나 드닝아주 사네가 드니 뭐 코랑초고 드니 다파데라 드니 페메바 코랑초라 춘족 제거레서 가서 시 고거레 드닝아주 짜둔데.
So it's a basic duty of Buddhists to be respectful of the religious tradition and beliefs of other people around us in the societies in which we live.
Tani karte koranso tini ramu gone tini ta tabashin tini yonana tini ngaso tinala chik tinala yong chok chik tinala yong mechok tini yewa kage meba chamala ngaso gapsi jego ore te ngaso tsadung chigri.
Again, it's our basic duty to welcome all people who are interested or who aspire to learn the Dharma. It's not okay to be partial in terms of who we welcome and who we don't. Everybody needs to be welcomed similarly.
Teni tenji insarti teni terang tawala ina nga sundi nala teni yayin na re teni boyin na re teni nabshokoma ina tsamayona nga so garsi yongin zibi jimsen tenjizris.
So this is the reason that tonight we welcome everyone, regardless of whether they're Chinese, Tibetan, or Westerner. These principles of equality are the basic foundation of that.
Teni ramnyam chenpo sum zeyate teni nga so namba nane teni nangdun hajang kar cheshu zre teni te tsama hako gores.
Everybody needs to know that these three great equalities are a very important part of Buddhism.
Ta teni nga so terang ga teni shuchit teni ta ta gon zne teni shakins.
And from here we will begin with tonight's teaching.
Teni tomar sosogo teni samba shangshim chok the simkit sim shangshim chok the simkit gores.
First of all, may everybody please generate in their hearts bodhicitta.
Tani shangshim chok the simkit zeyati kangriz glata zegre zena dondag ni changore chatin ni ogore.
In order to do this, in order to generate bodhicitta, there are two conditions.
Tani chatin ni the kangre zena tambote ngazo terang de la chujia yong vitini chuji vitini yong chuji vitini muirte kangre zena tani ngazo 심신 탐출랑이 판바치게연 심신 탐출라더니 판토야가 레까지 딘딩에 레게연 심신 탐출라 등물메야가 딘디 레까지 딘딩에 레게인 삼네 돈다 담보티 차킨 담보티 데요고레 망싱 오마티 테레스.
So the basic foundation of the first condition is that we proceed with the aspiration, the motivation of being here tonight, that we are able to, or we aspire to, benefit all beings, that all beings obtain happiness and that all beings find relief from suffering.
Tani 심신 탐출라더니 또 판접 접세나 당가서 따르당가서 라티 딘디 니바침보 요 말에가 쫓질라요 말에.
In terms of benefiting all beings, well, perhaps at the moment our capacity to do so is not particularly great.
And
if we don't have this capacity, well, then what do we need to do? What should we do?
Teni ngarang ka simchim mambola pantosare teindi nga sangji ta ngarang ka sangji drip ka yin samje ko samba teo gores.
We need to fervently make the aspiration that we achieve Buddhahood, and we can achieve Buddhahood in order to benefit all beings.
Teni shanship sim zia de nga zo ka teni shadna hajang ka lesla bores.
Of course, it's very easy to just say bodhicitta.
It's
just a one word. It's very easy to pronounce, a few syllables. But in actual fact, to put it into practice, to actually practice bodhicitta is something quite entirely less easy. Even though it is not easy, even though it is difficult, if we devote ourselves to this single-mindedly, then it is not something that is beyond us either. To really to speak to the heart of the matter, apart from meditation on bodhicitta and practicing bodhicitta, there is nothing more important in our lifetimes. In fact, if we try to identify something in our lifetimes that's more important than working on cultivating bodhicitta, it's extremely difficult to identify anything.
Teni ta ngubo nani teni yongore samne shiro ngubo longsho nani yongore ta pamjur yarji tangore samne teni mese muyirti tere samne mambo zuk teni kha shayang shari yige tebyang mambo triore te chama teni basu yang shari.
In the West, from the 17th to the 19th centuries in particular, there was a great feeling, a very popular idea and sentiment that the way for us to achieve happiness was through material ends. And indeed, many books have been written about this. So much has been spoken about it. The idea that happiness is to be obtained through the material world.
Teni tika sangaso teni sambatela teni karyo mareze maybe Jameson chirezena tika sangaso zambolong shar nabtsama horvoreze tengaso jirzi mambo yo mareze maybe kapsa teni ngaso teni yona ta ngaso ke boyon sare samne teni samre jirzi longsho tela ngaso teni chaji mado pamjola chaji yo mare chaji meiti teni ngaso teni pamjol yona ta ngaso demo ke boyon sare samne teni manam gi teni samgare te kayo mare te samlo well,
of course, this kind of idea was completely understandable in a situation where these kinds of ideas and this kind of vision is unrealized, that people don't have familiarity with what that state would actually be like. Then this kind of idea that happiness could or should be obtained through these means is reasonable or understandable.
Tadini ngato terang tirim nishi sachi pa nangla yoni ta shir tana tani pamjur doso ina tenji tini hachang karchim botang rantang damba tindi wa mahim bati shimkhang ge moni ores moni ti shindus
shinkin suri
moni shinkhang ge ramba jun to shakri
oh yeah Now, in the 21st century, turning back and looking back on history as it has unfolded, there are two kinds of people, or two people who know that this kind of endeavor, the energy and endeavor that was put into economic development and achieving happiness through the material world, in fact, is not that important, or is in fact not to be valued in such a way. Oh, okay. So one of the one of the people who knew this was in fact the Buddha, who knew it over 2,000 years ago. And then the second kind of the second person who also knew or realized the futility of this kind of endeavor was in fact not actually one individual, but many, many people. For the sake of convenience, Khenpo speaks about it in terms of one person, but is in actual fact those people in the West who are extremely well off, who are extremely fortunate, who are extremely rich. And likewise, it's not just now people from the West who have gained this realization, but increasingly people all over the place, people in the East too. Gradually, more people are coming to a similar realization. And except for these two people, or the Buddha and all of those others, there are still lots of people who haven't come to this realization. Lots of people who really don't know the futility of this kind of lifestyle. In fact, there are lots of people who still very much strive towards obtaining lots of wealth, a car, a great big house. But those people who have already arrived there, those people already have these things, a big fancy car and a fancy house as well. Many of them are able to, having arrived, turn and look back with some kind of perspective. So even though now looking back 250 years after the Industrial Revolution and all of the effort and struggle and work and toil that people have invested over the years subsequent, looking back on it to see whether it has generated happiness, whether happiness has occurred a result of this.
니톱 그 말이에요. 작톱 그 말이에요.
So, with the exception of those people who have, been able to obtain a particular standard of affluence and are able to look back with this perspective and appreciate the lack of value in this kind of existence, there are really still so many people who are striving and struggling and really orienting themselves to this kind of these objectives.
Tani kaja tinrade ngaso lo nigya gong lo samja gong la shanna tani chama yichi maris.
If we were to have said this, that there is in fact little value in this kind of vision, in these kind of values, if we were to have said this 200 or 300 years ago, then nobody would have believed it.
Tani terang ngaso kaja tinri shanna mamambus ko te re samne te koranso te semla te re samne kelendrores.
But today, when we say this, there are in fact many people who realize the truth of this kind of insight. Still, really, in terms whether there are a lot of people who accept this, perhaps there still aren't a lot of people who accept it, but gradually there will be more and more people who come to view this as an accurate assessment or evaluation of the state of things. Yeah, and the point that we come to understanding this is when we've obtained this big car and when we've obtained this fancy house, then we're at a point where we are able to appreciate this insight. However, nevertheless, this life of ours is extremely short. When given the shortness of our lives, we don't, in fact, have so much time if we're going to be doing a bit of this over here, doing a bit of that over there, pursuing this path for a while, then changing to that path, engaging or indulging in all kinds of choices. We actually don't have that much time to be doing this. So it's very important that we choose one path and that we proceed in that path. And what is that one path that we should follow? What is that one path that will bring us happiness, bring happiness to ourselves, and bring happiness to others? That path is the generation, the meditation on bodhicitta. And that's the reason why today we are going to talk about bodhicitta. So given that generating bodhicitta, given that bodhicitta is in fact so important, what we're going to talk about tonight is how to practice meditation on bodhicitta. In terms of talking about the method of meditation, it's not something that I've cooked up in my own mind and fabricated myself. Perhaps you might think that if I tell you about, or if I teach you about this method of meditation tonight without basing it on a scripture or a written teaching, you might think that it is in fact something that I have made up myself, but this is not the case.
Tani kangsha karizina nge ngaranga lamadang, tani lamaga lamadang, o tani shini nga tso lo tongcha nita ngabja nangla, tani harshokum tani gyartong chamba mambo ziko koso nyamyung te.
So what I am talking about, what I am teaching you tonight is the teaching and experience of my teacher and my teacher's teacher and my teacher's teacher's teacher, and in fact a lineage of teachings that goes back 2,500 years to the Buddha. When we talk of bodhicitta, it's such a mighty and glorious thing. Where we are presently, there seems and in fact is a great distance between this really wonderful and mighty qualities and our present state. However, notwithstanding this, to think, if we think, oh, well, if it's that difficult, then if it's that difficult to obtain, I'm never going to get there. It's so far away from me. Well, I'm not going to practice it. In fact, this is something that we absolutely must not think. If we think that it is so far away from us, it's something we're never going to be able to obtain or we're never going to be able to cultivate, this is in fact a very lazy attitude, and not just a lazy attitude, but also an attitude of quite some self-inferiority. And it's really manifesting almost an inferiority complex that. And if we really think like this, then not only are we not going to be able to achieve the generation of bodhicitta, we really won't be able to do anything in life. So what we do need to think is that even though it is difficult, it is a difficult goal, it is a difficult objective to commit ourselves to, we need to really generate confidence in the knowledge that there have been hundreds and thousands of people who have gone before us who have managed to attain this and who have managed to generate bodhicitta.
Tanita shangship ke semze adi gangze gre zina nga chu gongde shaba nangjin re ta nge nima derang ne tene nge semchen tamchil la tane phamba drip ke yin se semchen tamchil kang re zina nga chu more tani tandro re aya tanji tang tani pe na nga chu chulu ke nang le na te nga chu nang ba yin na ja tani yishi chulu nyamlin shin ken yin na ja tani di muslim ke chulu nyamslin ken shin na yin na ja de mayen ba nga chu domi chulung jamra mangbo yore de nyamlin shin ken yin nan ja de mayen ba pe na tene ti ngsu ta lamit tene shem ken yin nan ja mo chama la tene nge phamba drup ko yin samle to tandi sam go res.
And what we do need to think, how we do need to cast our aspiration is that from this day onward, I am going to benefit all beings being people, being animals, being all all sentient beings, regardless of their religious belief or their caste or their background or creed, etc., all living beings, similarly and likewise, I am going to be of benefit to.
Ta tinji ge samlo te nga cho tangrib ke mozula samlo pe jana halipa khakbore se yimbi jimsang kare re na ngarang cho te ni ta lobja chungrim lobja mjangrim tani lobja chembore to cho chama ga na la nga cho lobso tani nyamsun yong de ya lobso te mangchewa ti na la gari ja ge yore se na ngarang rang de ni gurmu mambo rathab ngarang rang yak bo yong ya tani ngarang rang de mo che bo yong ya tinji tak tak la nga cho lojong che ge yore tinji yendi tinji ge ka sa nga cho lobso te tinji yen charti tani nge ngarang par jerne nge simchen la phamba drup ken tinji ge samlo te nga cho lang khur gona te kak bo yore.
Why is, in fact, the idea that we are going to benefit all beings quite difficult, in fact, extremely difficult for people in this modern age to really generate and commit themselves to? The reason is that from primary school through to high school and beyond, we're really inculcated with the idea that our lives should be about benefiting ourselves, whether it be succeeding in our careers or getting lots of money. And then the idea that we should put this all aside, put our self-interests and our own goals aside and work for the sake of others is in fact something with quite some degree of difficulty.
Tani nga cho tangrib ke mozula ya nge tani chuluk yewa me pa tani chokchak ko tani chi te simchin ko ramba tanro ta mo yewa me pa tani chi tani jarkub ko tani jansam ko yewa me pa tani ko goni nge simchin thamchu pola nge phamba drub go tani sam go re zena tani mambu zo ko tani simchin thamchu pola nge phamba drub go jimsang kari nge te sola tani phamba tani drub go jimsang gang re zeni te jimsang te la samlo tang je ma to tani nge ngone tani go re samne tani samkan ta nyung re.
Really, the number of people who were able to cast the aspiration and really be able to believe that I want to or can benefit all beings regardless of their backgrounds and their distinctions, and without differentiating between humans and animals, and then among animals, between animals themselves. People who are able to do this are in fact very, very rare, very, very few.
Tani tinji goni jimsan tani ta jimsan kare zini ta yondi tani nga cho karte sangji shakya tapa go lobso tani ze mena nga cho me mambo zo jimsan kan ha go yo mares.
The reason with so many people really not knowing the reason why they should in fact orient themselves towards benefiting all beings, without the Buddha's teaching, in fact, it's very difficult for people to understand why.
Tani nga cho jimsan moko wai nga cho ti jimsan te rak nyek mandu si te manye pi jimsan kan re zena te nga cho mukum thongje tani nga cho na wa thu je nga cho sem ge shi ji de shibsha de nga cho nyung ma to tani shigyo ma nga cho mukti tani thong ma tong thong mandu nga cho na wa ti tani ta nyung ma to ba tani ta go yo ma re tani nga cho sem de ge yang ti jikting ge tani te lo ji nyung ma to tani shigyo ma re ti nyung ti nang la tani nga cho jimsan kan re zena nga cho jimsan nyek yo ma re manye pi jimsan de nga cho shisha mambo zo me shiwi jimsan ji re.
So the reason that we're not able, or many people are not able to understand why they should benefit all beings, is that everyone, or really everyone, is extremely constrained by what they are able to know. They're constrained by the limits of what their eyes can tell them and their ears can tell them and what their brains are able to concern. In fact, what they can understand are just patches here and there on a greater map. They're unable to, of their own selves, obtain an understanding of the reason for why they should be benefiting all beings.
Tene nga so shangship ko sem zeyade or gangrezena di shangship ko sem te la tene nga ran so samlo la changjor tango res.
Changjor.
Jefang.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So what we really need to do is liberate our own minds, our own thoughts on this matter.
Tani Gandhi Chandro Tango Resinata, Tanga Yenchula Natsu Sama, the Nara Rangaton, Tadala Samno Tane, the Nat Demo Gandio, Natibo Gandio, then this Samlo Tangares, Tanga Yenchula.
Demos?
Demo, Kibo,
Yeah.
Narang Demo, Narang Kibo, then the Yongagatonla, then Natsu Samlo Tangares.
Samgayuri.
Then Natsu Tanga Yenchu, then the Tang Sam Gyoris.
Oh, okay. Previously, I thought solely about my own happiness and about my own success. That is what I did in the past.
Tani ta panchoni nga so tani te par jang ta panchoni nga so ta rang yang demo kyopo yung go re ya jamba tam chepo tani demo kyopo yung go re samne tani nga so mo yin na ja chokcha yin na ja tani tam chepo la demo kyopo yung ya dongda la tani samlo tang go re te la nga so nangba ga chani shan na te la samlo jangdor ze gres.
But from here on in, even though, yes, I do require my own measure of well-being and happiness, I'm nevertheless going to work for the benefit of all beings, for their happiness and for their well-being. Well, this is what we mean by Buddhist liberation, or liberation in Buddhism.
다 딘디가 드니 삼로테 가솔라 랑상 드니 요르고나 하자 갑보리 요 말이다 옛나양 드니 가서 심캄 그토라 드니 용더스타야가 드니 탑시 때라 땐나 드니 그 삼로테 가서 갈래 드니 테 삼로테 가서 셈라 드니 다 끼용 그래서 상집 그 셈디 끼용 그래서
It's quite difficult for us all of one sudden to be able to generate this kind of state of mind or aspiration. So what we need to do is to train our minds to develop means, strategies for being able to gradually cultivate this aspiration and quality.
다든지 그 탑시대 가서더니 뭐 그치고 나라였나 더니 할리바 망보는 도지티 탑시대 할리바가 망보 야침보 더니 답대보 더니 장장 다든지 뭐 그치고 나라였나 더니 가서 지 냥마였나 다 게르였나 사샤였나 더니 과지였나 강당강였나 더 참마가 되게 치고 나라 이 탑시대 하정 망보 요레스
strategies or methods to train ourselves in being able to generate this kind of aspiration. There are so many in the Tibetan religious tradition. All kinds of convenient and easily practiced methods, vast methods, clever methods, regardless of, within all of the different schools and lineages of Tibetan Buddhism, teachings on this are something the Tibetan religion is very rich in. And today, what I'm going to introduce to you is of all of these different means and methods that exist, just one of them.
하정 것들이 답 대슈 되래지 정말 고나 약보 고 터야 된 욕자 된디 망보 매바 삼로 망보더니 땅 멀고야 된디 답 대슈 되래지.
And the method I'm going to teach you tonight is the most convenient, the most easily understood, the most easily practiced, a method that doesn't have a great deal of elaborateness, a very wonderful, convenient method that is easy to put into practice.
Teni te tab deshu te reta yinayang teni karte nga tsu te yangbozo teni nyamlin shina te nga tsu gilla shangchib ku sim ngibarte teni ke thab gres.
So even though it's an extremely convenient kind of practice, if we're really able to apply ourselves to it properly, then it is an absolute guarantee that we will be able to generate bodhicitta within our mind streams.
Tani ta tabshiti kangrezena nga tsu shangshib ku sim gum gona tani korang ka mange korang ka tsawa di kangrezena tani tsamme pa vje zike ki toni yarandro gores tsamme vje.
So the basis of this method that we need to proceed is the 4 immeasurables.
Tani tsamme vje zike de kangrezena tani tomar nyarji res nyarji de kangrezela zegrezena tani ngaso tani semkhong ripi khtanezena ngaso loschik semchik gone tani ta semchin tamchipo dingmar sawani me patini zere sona samne tani khoranga khaji nimi katini samna tela nyarji se gres.
So, in terms of the four immeasurables, the first is compassion. And what is compassion? It's the really strong and heartfelt aspiration that all living beings be free from suffering.
Teni ti nyarji re, teni chad me pa se ati kang re jina, teni nga cho ti nyarji ti, pena nge apa ti teni dungur me pa re sona, nge ama ti re sona, nge nduruk ti re sona, teni nge boda bomo ti re sona, nge chokbu ti, teni sam, teni changma ma re zi, nge simchin tamchit, teni chokchak yin nan ja, teni tamchit, teni re sona, teni dungur me pa teni re sona, sam na, teni ta chad me re, ti chad me zi goya jimsin ti, simchin lan tayo ma re, simchin chad me pa re, simchin tamchit la teni samlo ti par gyachimbo teni shi na, teni te la chad me pa zi gare, nyarji tang chad me zi ni, teni ni te jag ma re zi, nga zo nyarji yang yin la, chad me pa yang yin ba, teni zi la samlo tang go re.
And when we talk of immeasurable, what we're talking about is the fact that this aspiration needs to be cast by ourselves to all sentient beings. So our wish is not just that our own fathers or our own spouses or children or loved ones obtain this liberation from suffering and great happiness. No, it's the desire, it's the aspiration that all living beings obtain this great result. So when we talk of the immeasurable nature of the four immeasurables and compassion, there's absolutely no contradiction between them. They go completely together.
Teni nga zo pena chamme pa maim ba de kan dizela se resena ta pena nga zo bonja bo tin dizela samlo ta na no tangi apate tini ta demo che bore sona sam nge amate demo che bore sona sam jindao ta tin dizela se yo res.
So what would be the opposite of immeasurable? I suppose measurable. That would be the idea or the hope, the wish that my own father obtains great happiness and comfort and well-being, or my own mother obtains this. This would be a partial kind of practice or aspiration.
Teni gyanja o yin na teni ta apata ama yang sam gre ta tele kyang teni ngi pudu yang pozere sona ngi pomo de teni te dungur me pa re sona sam ni teni sam gre ta te chap me pa je mare te chatam je pa teni re je nyar ji te.
So that last aspiration that one's own mother and father be well and be happy, Khenpo was talking about this being a Tibetan version of a compromised version of a compromised aspiration. Perhaps a Chinese person who was being non-immeasurable in their aspiration would be wishing for the well-being and happiness of their own sons or daughters.
Teni nga chon nushong ja yen na nge hajang sarbo hako me da nge 아파다 아마다니 보다 본모양 삼고요지리 디토랑이 큐도 약보레 소나 니 릴리드더니 등을 메바딘들이 소나 삼나 디 사담 제바레스.
So even though Khenpo doesn't have a great familiarity with the partialities of Western people, he thinks that it might be, in addition to wishing their own mother and father are well and happy, and in addition to wishing the same for their own children, they also wish the same for their own dog.
다들 가서 스스로 강 다량자 배나 가서 아파 아마인 난자 가서 보인 난자 되는 가서 키우다 릴리인 난자 대 정말 심신이 가서 강라 가나요 초콜릿.
Of course, all of these people, all of these subjects, whether they be our parents or our children or our pets, etc. Yes, of course, they're all living beings and they are all people and things we love and like.
강tar tini dindig nyarji ti tini ta nga cho hajang ka chat chungchung kyabgya chungchung zre tini ti pap garni ti chat ti pap garni simchen tamchu samji gore ma tong nge apa ama chigbo samna jigyo mare tini nge bodang bomo samna jigyo mare tini nge khodang tini ta jimu tini samna jigyo mare simchen tamchu dungor dang meba tini zre na samna tini ta zo tila samme ba tini zegres.
So even though we of course we like and love and feel great attachment to our parents and our children, our dogs, etc. This is a very restricted, a limited, a small kind of aspiration. And what we need to do is to make that aspiration bigger, much more vast, so that it extends to all living beings, in the hope, in the great wish that they be free from suffering.
Nipa de Gangrezina, Shambaris, Shambazia de Gangrez, Simpson Tamshit, or Tani Deva Damba, Tataring also Kund, Dungur Menas and Yanjiri. Tani Sama, Demota, Kebota, Dering also Pena, Chulukuni, Janagato, Nambayananda, Yeshi Chubayananda, Tani Muslim Chubayananda, Tani also Hamid Navata, Usu Bayananda. Tani chik te pangpa toni murik pangpa nangpo chayina, seru chayina, karu chayina ja. Tani semchen tamcha te yongsu zoba te demo kebo tani resona samne tani ta koranga sem ka tani tani samna tani tela te shamba chamit tani zegres.
So the first of the four immeasurables was compassion. The second, loving kindness, is, well, the first, the wish or the aspiration of compassion is that all living beings be without suffering. And the aspiration behind loving kindness is that all living beings, regardless of their class or creed or skin color, etc., all living beings have happiness and the causes for happiness. This is the aspiration of loving kindness.
Tenite nibare tasamba gawa tsabmeziati kandi rezenam perna namginina tini ngarancho dangacho te ngarancho ji nye sanja ponja bomoja pamanda tindisla demo ki boyona ngacho ga teni mo jambazala demo ki boyona ngacho ji gayang marga dugyang mulg kap kapsa tarong mo jambala teni demo ki boyona ngacho sem ganala margaya tendi yongorezi namgin ngacho tendizre.
And then the third of the four immeasurables is joy, or is, yes. And what we're talking about here is,
ngacho namgin ina ngacho muzia de gandizrezena pena ngacho rang soso rang te apa ama ina ta pubumo ina te tisola demo ki boyona ngacho ga. Tani jamba sola demo ki boyona ngacho jimurga ta tarung kapkapsa tani jamba la demo ki boyona ngacho semgana la murgawa tendi yongoreze namgin ngacho muzia te tindizrez.
Our general state of being is that we wish happiness and well-being for those who are close to us, and for those who aren't, have, well, indifference, or even in some cases a desire for them not to have happiness and well-being.
Tani ta panchuni tani zu mayimba tani ngacho ranga susuranga pama pogo yinanja te mayimbi mojamba yinanja musatang slayan tani demo tang kebo tani yona tele janda perna stanja zonja tani ngacho chokchak shanja shinja tani zgina korangla demo kebo tani yona semkana la gamu yone o ta korangla yagbo yongondo tani te korang tan tani muntani korang demo kebo yona tani samni semkana ni tani sem So
what joy is the wish that all people, regardless of whether they're the ones close to us, our relatives and friends, or they're people that we don't know or don't like, it's the wish that all people, regardless of who they are, or all beings, including animals of all different shapes and sizes and everything else, that they be well, obtain happiness, do well. This fervent wish is what we refer to when we speak of the immeasurable of joy.
Teni te sambare ta jepati tanyum zegre teni tanyum zeyati penangaso teni gawa inna de shamba inna teni simchin tamche polan jamnim gugoni simchin tamche teni ta dewa dang damba dang teni dungri inna ta simchin tamche dungur mepa samni teni par chamnim gugoni shuri me pa goni tendi samna tendi tela tanyum zegres tanyum chame zegres.
And when we speak of the fourth immeasurable of equanimity, what we're talking about is the great wish that all people, with utterly no partiality whatsoever, all living beings, in fact, be well, be happy, be free from suffering. This is what we talk about with the fourth immeasurable.
다 지부데라 코스 소소라더니 랑랑거더니 곰르 더니 또 용더실르 먼저와 지요레스.
And with these four immeasurables, we have four different kinds of meditational practice or method.
더니 티 지부디 나네 소 치슈디 하정거 가르치슈디 강레제나 더니 냥진데레 냥진데 요소나 양바탄제 요용 그래.
And within these four methods, the most important of them all is that of compassion. If we can accomplish this practice, then all of the others will also ripen as a matter of course.
다 던지엔디 가서 대랑 가서 공력 지부디 시작하면서 티나네 냥지 공력 지부디 시작해서.
So today we're not going to talk about all four of the practices. We're going to focus on the practice of the meditation on compassion.
Dani ta 냥지 곰처 티나네 dani 강레제나 당가서 공력 냥지 공력랑 공력 만보여래다. 이나 가서 dani 냥마나라 페나 린진지메랑바 제안다다 dani 저 빠트름보체 제안다 콩소워 dani 냠린 냠뇽
So within the different practices on compassion, the different meditations on compassion, of which there are many, tonight we're going to focus on the teachings within the lineage of Paltru Rinpoche.
쪽착 잠바초라 고소라 등물 간디 누 땡아서 하고야 돼 하장 가르침 보레스.
So what's really important to start off with this is that we have an understanding of what other living beings, what the nature of their suffering is, how they suffer. It's very important that we have an understanding of this.
땡아초 망보 지금 랑그 등월때 하고 요래 마도 봐 랑그 등월때 공컨때 하장 뉴뉴레스.
A lot of people have a fairly clear idea of their own suffering, but don't have much understanding or insight into the suffering of others.
Perna shigbu yinna, shigbu yinna, deni koranga orwu chog dungmurte kantrigen, parchirga hako mare, hako na hako kante nyonyong matoyo mare.
For example, a rich person, a person with great wealth, probably has not much idea of the suffering of poor people, or those who do have an understanding of it are probably very few indeed.
Deni danga su shusoko tola yinna perna shusoko tola deni mo toptang yongken, wangcha yongken, deni yinna, deni koranga shusoko tola toptang menken, wangcha menken ke mo toso dungmur kantrigen, de koranga parchir hako mare.
And similarly, those in society with position and power and influence probably have very little understanding of those in society who are powerless and without privilege and all kinds of prerogatives that those in power enjoy.
Teni ngaton roa mir shitang la teni samlo tana ngaso mo namji dungurte maotong ba ngaso stokshak dundro da teso dungurte gandri ngaso hayang ko mare ngaso samlo yang tang mare.
And in terms of humans, in fact, we have very little understanding of the suffering of animals, what the nature of their suffering is. We don't understand it, and we don't think about it in many situations very often.
다른 가서 삼로 먹당와 잠도 마츠 되는 가서 르비 종르크 토네 종망보 즈네 되니 쪽착대 솔라 코나 고솔라 등물이요 말이지네 된디 샹컨 페르나 너쇼 콘사니르 바바 디카 과랑소 된디 양샤바 쇼어레지 로지기 토라 된디 망보요레.
So not only do we not think about the suffering of animals, but humans have even written all kinds of treatises that deny the suffering of animals, including, for example, things that were written by the philosopher Descartes, etc.
Tani ngaso roa mo namji chokchak nam ge dungar hamoko, tani mo shigbo namji changbo oro namji dungar hamoko, Teni mo wangcha yung kan so wangcha mepa so teni dungur de ha mago wa ti thone teni ngara chola jamnyim mayem batang teni dungur mambo ti thone shongores.
And in fact, the source of great suffering is that the very fact that humans don't know or understand the suffering of animals, that those with all kinds of power and privileges don't understand the nature of the suffering of those people who don't, that the wealthy and very affluent don't understand the suffering of those who are in poverty.
That 오르 남기 등을 간다는 그런 거 mambo 삼로 당야대 하정 거 가르침 보래 했더니 왕차 용큰 톱탕 용큰 든지스겠나 더니 수수고 돌아 왕차 멤바 톱탕 멤바 문냠총 때서 했더니 등을 강인 데 그런 거 삼로 당야대 가르침 보래 아전 로아 미르가 있나 더니 가서 멀리 냠총와 했더니 럼바치고 마와 했더니 등로다 때서 등을 강인 라 삼로 mambo 당야 데 가르침 보래.
So what's really important is that those who are extremely wealthy and affluent really think about and investigate, come to understand the nature of those who are poor. Similarly, those who have great power and influence think about and come to understand the nature of the suffering of those who don't. And that human beings, we come to understand and have insight into the suffering of animals and all of those kinds of creatures that seem to exist below us.
담도 드니샤나 도처 드니샤나 가서 뭐 인난자 쪽착 인난자 잠바 남기 등물라 삼로 mambo 땅야테 자와 나 치슈디 데레스.
So the really essence or the core of this practice is that humans or people in positions of relative ascendance really think about and attempt to understand the suffering of others.
Tanita ngacho perna semchen chokchak yennanja perna nyachik yennanja sha yennanja tani jamba gatan rozi yennanja tanjiga perna jamba nam gatini saya ta perna ju perna shira ya tu zai chang zi ra ba o tanjiga nala yongkan ge semchen yennanja de parchi ngacho mambo zi kan thonggo mare ta yenna ta karte perna ngacho sharshok ta yenna ngacho tani dumchum 촌만 요사 같으니 총라 야菜市场 어디 나라 되니 샘제 mambo 되니 사야 되니 요레지 되니 너쇼라 요다면 하고 메 강터 되니 그 샘제 찍라 되니 가서 언니 그따니 되니 삼로 당고 오레.
So what's important is that we obtain knowledge through our own personal experience with our own eyes, our own personal experience. The knowledge of the suffering of other beings, whether it be a bird or a fish or those animals who are facing death in the slaughterhouse or in the different markets and things like that. Khenpo's not sure about the situation in the West, but certainly in China this is the case. It's very important that people with their own eyes come to face this suffering and gain an understanding of it.
Teni ngaso namjing ngaso kandirezena teni shira nang yenanja teni chomap chongsa nang la yenanja teni shatang pagdang nyadang deso koso saya ge semshin deyenna koso su jimba ge teni semshin desola ngaso sama ge tando ge marezi ngaso tando sa de gangrezena teni de kwarancho gangze chaoji 시장 la gangze ge oya 超市了地拿了有把个等你下一那他们要不要么有啥地方做单独个的
In fact, we don't often want to see these things. We don't want to see the suffering pigs or fish or birds in the markets. What we do want to see and what we do see is the cleanly packaged meat that we find in our supermarket freezer sections.
옛날 가서 보고 되니 거치 총강제 그래超市 디나라 용큰 그때 샤데라 되니 콜라 땀깃만 보다 콜라 로지만 보여 그래 대소 가서 상마가 따고 말이 삼고 말이.
So when we encounter this cleanly and nicely packaged meat in the supermarket, we don't think much about the history, what the chain of events and circumstances that have gone into this fact of this piece of meat that we're finding in the supermarket. We don't think much about the background, about its history. So not only do we not think about it, it doesn't come to us to think about it, we also don't want to think about it. What this is an avoidance of reality. From a Buddhist point of view, it's absolutely vital that we do think about this, that we don't avoid this reality. It's extremely vital that we see with our own eyes and don't avoid the most frightful suffering that animals in fact have to go through. So for example, the knife that pierces the stomach of the fish, or the cutting off of the bird's head, or the various other kinds of horrible methods through which pigs, for example, are killed. It's not viable. It's not okay for us to turn away and say, oh, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to see it. I like eating my meat. No, it's important that we as Dharma practitioners really come face to face and confront this suffering.
Tani tandi simchin de chochang de tani korang ta langsang tani ta mojamba ga tani sakreze tani sanna korang ta sem go tola njita tani lipo go tola dungar halipa tani tani chembo ta yongre tena korang tani juna na trosa yo mare tani korang kan thamna na mannamla tani thap thap ko mare tani korang inda manda tani dungar chembo tani nyong ne ta tan ro go re samne ta te sem go nala sam go re.
And what we do need to think in this very moment is that this animal, that this creature, this living creature, is on the absolute cusp of being killed, and at this point must be feeling such intense terror and fright. They've got no way to escape. There's no other place that they can go to. There's no other fate for them. We really need to think about and understand, confront the terror, the sheer terror and fright of living creatures who are at this point. And at this point, when we're watching them, it's not as if we're watching a movie. It's not as if we're watching a play. We're a spectator on the side, a bystander. No. What we do need to think is, imagine if that living creature right now were me.
Ya yana garti nyande teni ngaranga apa yinna ngaranga ama yinna teni kanti do samne te samgores.
Or what if that living creature right now were my father or my mother?
Teni ngaranga apa yinna ama yinna ngarang rang yinna teni nge muschila yang teni noba na ki me muschila yang teni mamtham ba lega na kang li yo marita yinna teni mujamba ga teni zanshi ko ni zawang go ni teni ta ngan teni shini teni sut 직계라 접습 된디시나 다 간디엔 사리 삼니 대삼고 그랬어.
아, 연재 지소나 좋게 보다.
양치치샤나 간디 레스나 되니 다 가르테 되니 다 나랑랑 있는자. 되니 나랑가 아파 있는자, 아마 있는자. 되니 무장라 노파치요 말에 무장라 멍텀바글레카카 길레요 말이다. 이나 잠바가 되니 코랑가 되니 저 왕식 거니. 되니 잠보 거니 다 길라 야나 냥낭라 된디시나 당가 간디엔 사리 등물 간디즈고 사리 삼네 대삼고 그랬어.
So really what we need to think about at this point is, regardless of whether it were me or my mother or father, whoever it was, what would I do? What would it be like at this point when a knife is about to be driven into my stomach or my head's about to be cut off? To really sympathize, empathize, to think very, very, to really attempt to understand in a very visceral way what the nature of this experience would be.
Yana Tanita, Nyayana, Shayana, Pagina, Di, Narango Puyina, Narango Pumutina, Tandina, Narango Puda, Narango Pumuti, Muzala Nopa Leka, Kakimale, Korang, Tendi Deo Capsa, the name Muzambazikati, Koranga Kila Tuzini, Yanala Tuzini, Koba Kala Tindishina, the Kandians are Samni, the Nindanja Goris.
Or think or contemplate, what would it be like if that animal, that fish or that bird or were my own son or my own daughter that was about to have its stomach cut or its heart pierced or its neck stabbed? What would I do? What would that be like?
Yana tani nyayna shayna the ngarang chudiyna ngarang tini jum shila kondwa oya They nothing it Naranga Chitty Mozella no Panashio Mare, Naranga Tinita, Shilan, the Mozan Sutila no Pamasina, Mozambaz Yoni, Naranga Chotini, Kitchana, Tini, Yanala Trigamna, Tini, Tindishona, the Kantians are Samni, the Rangasano Tangoris.
Or, my own son or daughter, as we've just said, or even still my own dog. What if it was my own dog and someone else was to come along and just to come along and to inflict great harm in one of these terrible ways on my own dog? What would that be like? What would that feel like? What would that kind of suffering be?
Nyayna, Shayna, Simjin Tisotini, Dumur Kosola, Gandiote, that's a Hakoyungaris.
And by thinking like this and by contemplating like this, we will be able to generate an understanding of the kind of suffering that other living creatures, particularly animals, go through.
Tendi Samlo Matana, Gandirizina, Teningazo, Nyayna, Shayna, Teni, Garton, Chumbum, Tendi, Mambozu Sakayona, Masu Mukantona, and that's similar Toragao Maris, Tendi Damagimna.
So without doing this, without going through this kind of contemplative process, then it will be impossible for us to generate this kind of feeling. We'll continue to eat countless meals of animal flesh, and we will not be confronting the reality of the suffering that these animals go through.
That Tendi Shapi Kasatini, Tendi Sambi Kasatini, young Tenita, Rumba Nipati can some go resina, the Rumba Tambodra, that Rumba Nipati can some go resina, the Ningaranga, Poyananda, Pomoyana, Naranga Apamayananda, Naranga Chayananda, Ganginanda, the Korang La Samlo Tambayana, Korang and Dobachin Dokeresina, the Korang Demoki Boyon Sona, Samni, Tin Dokere Mautoba, the Nikorang Dumuriona, Ko Demoki Bomayona, Samkan, much chicken or mare. So that
was the first stage, and then the second stage is really to contemplate on the fact that there is absolutely no person who would wish that their own family members, parents, children, animals, etc., be inflicted with harm or suffering. There is absolutely no person who would think this way.
Then that's so that Pamayana, Buddha Bomoyana, Sainanja, then he Koranso Dungur me Deva Yona Koranso Ndokoyore, teni chama dungmur mena dokyo re teni ta korang chola dungmur chimbo masat dungmur chung ina teni to korang chola mena samni to dungmur te mena ga samni teni samgyo re dewa ina teni dewa chimbo masat teni dewa chung ina te korang cho yona samni teni samgyo re te nga chon roa mir tamchi ina ja chokshak tamchi ina ja tamchi jamnyim re te nga cho chama ga teni samgyo re.
And then similarly, all living creatures, without exception, desire freedom from suffering, alleviation from suffering, not even great suffering, even the smallest suffering. Nobody wants it. And in terms of happiness, not just great happiness and bliss, but also even small kinds of happiness. These are things that all living beings really long for.
Teni koranga teni dewa yungnasam, dungmur menasam, teni samgyoreta, yena teni mjamba namki teni korang zambo gone teni ta zungne, teni korang la zambo gone teni ta simchen ko chokjet, korang ko lig tola, sem ko tola, dungmur mambo teni to parhtani, ta dungmur mambo yungchigni, ta teni shigayore ma tokba, korang ko chikyang do kumare samni te samgogres.
So what we need to think is that despite the fact that all living beings have absolutely no desire for suffering and every wish for happiness, that still there are people who come along and inflict them with great harm and suffering. And what we really need to really develop the understanding of in our minds is that there is absolutely no living creature who would want badness or suffering from themselves or their loved ones, and no living creature who would not similarly not want happiness for themselves or their loved ones.
Oya ta tinri ending acho perna sha ta phaksha ge deni acho njiktum je ya kwantho oya te nanja deni acho teni sha ge acho ya wo ke shapchi je ya jijing zama na la lu ya oya Teso tsama teni korang ka thum ka thokla gati tiyo zona teni shada phagda yabu jini taga ta korang ka mun namla teni korang ka yingyan teni korang ka mun namla teni sheji joko yan zeni teni ga teni ramo yakbo mambo tiyo te tsama ngok kor ya rezi chikyang ka ndoko yo ma rezi korang mun namji nga sanni nge mun namla sheji joko yan samkang ka teni shayo ma re teni ka phagayo ma re chikyang yo ma rezi.
So when we look at the labels on canned food or on the small labels on packets of all kinds of MSG kinds of foods, flavorings and seasonings, and see that they contain animal ingredients, no, it's not this case that the animals whose parts who constitute these foodstuffs have willingly have donated their lives for the sake of these foods. It's absolutely not that case at all. All of these animals have arrived in these food forms quite unwillingly.
Teni tendishini samlo mambo tangna teni tazo ngaso jambacho teni semjen namla teni dungur mambo yoya te ngaso hakoyong gores.
So thinking like this and really working on this kind of contemplation, we will come to the understanding of the nature of the suffering of other creatures and living beings.
Tani ngacho tenroshik posiki yomare mo nangla yenna pena ngacho ngarancho lipo detang yembi kapse tani nati nana tani ti dungur te chinjing hako mares then ngarancho soso tani lila napshon wi kapse Mankan ganalan jowi kapse teni tazo naki dungur zeate haleba dungur chimbo yimbate tazo ngachu shigres.
So it's not just about coming to understand the suffering of animals, but also about human suffering, the nature of human suffering. In fact, when one has an illness or a sickness oneself, one understands the nature of that. But when they go to the hospital and see the scale of illness and sickness around them, then it's possible to gain an insight into the suffering of illness of others.
Teni ngacho tenro namla teni samlo tang charwi jisu teni ngacho mo nangla yana teni mo orbo mo napa teni mo teni kalak teni taga te wambo ma changyanda da teni taga mo nani nyamchung 다때서 mambo teni yoba teso dunguri yoba ga mambo yoba teso tamchil la samlo tane ta karti nga ndrizina gandhi yan sares teni mund ngaranga apayena gandhi ind ngaranga bodang bomo yena gandhi yo sares samde teni nga so mug na la yan teni samlo jib ko tang ko gres.
So after we've done the contemplation on animals and other creatures, we need to turn our minds to humans, humans of all kinds of different predicaments and situations, those without power, those without money, those in poverty, those in all kinds of difficult and compromising situations. We need to really think, what would it be like if these people or that person were me? What would that be like? What would it be like if that person over there or that person in that situation were my own father or were my own mother? That's what we need to really work on contemplating next.
Tenji go ni samlo maptangna ngacho metsega nane teni soso nyamnyung chorwa dewa yenna chorwa dungor yenna tenji mambo zo teni ngacho par song sarviji se teni ngacho langsang jindo yore te samlo matang teni mo jamba namla pe na mo jamba la nat yona zai ke mepa gonje mepa teni janchik teni mambo na la mambo la teni dungor mambo chor tenji shena teni ngacho samala ta na la teni jamda mambo ngacho zambalang neser mambo nyima riri la hacho ko yore ta yena ta ngacho o tenji reso mambo shesong samji tenji zama to ba ji yo maris.
It's really difficult for us to really take on board and keep in mind the suffering and the really difficult situations that are endured by other people, whether that be people who are sick, people without clothes, people without food, people without rights and privileges, freedoms, etc. Every day, of course, we're confronted with a great influx of information of people in difficult situations in the news, etc. But it goes one in one ear and out the other, and it's not something that we really take on.
Bernato nitong jijig lola namjig nane tani lhombi mate so zambalang sharnab tamje bo domna parchen ni tongchachje da lak tani resongs.
Probably, for example, in the year of 2014, the fatalities from airplanes that descended into the ocean totaled more than 1,000 people.
Tani ngaso samlo matangna gandiz rezina o sanjir ka tola tena namjig lhone mo nivja she sonze nivja da ngapchi she sonze sanya namjig lhone nivja da dunchi she sonze o ngaso o ni mambo she sonza samge teni mato chorwayo mare.
So we see in the news, today an airplane went down and 250 people died. A few days later another one goes down and 170 people died. And we think, so many airplanes going down and so many people dying. Beyond this, we don't think much further.
Teni ti kapsa ngaso teni samlo tane karti ngarang rang ti namje ti nangla yona ngarang ti ni mo nivja da ngapche ga ni mchig yinna tani kanti yo sare samne samlo tana.
So really, when we are confronted with these kinds of news, what we do need to think is, what if I were among those 250 people who went down in that airplane disaster? What if I were one of those people? What would I have felt like? What would it have been like for me? So samala samlo tane teni samlo tang zapu teni tang teni shi yongdi teni ngaso machama teni dingoriena chokchak so dingoriena hachang tang zapu teni shik chakbu teni kegres ha go yongres. So by really dedicating ourselves to thinking about and putting ourselves in the position of others in suffering, whether it be animals or humans, and generating a really intense and visceral sense of what their suffering is like, then this is the method that we need to adopt in order to come to an understanding of the suffering of others.
Musta say na ngaso mo sem ko tang de la deni korang cho tamje bo mo sem de ni samba zambu je yingereze ya ze na shanliang oya deni rezi de yindi deni chama go ta mambo teni mo semjin nam go dungor mambo nyong go ta yak bore son te drikson samri teni samkan yo mareze chama o semjin namla dungor mambo teni mambo zendo ta dungor te mena samni teni samyong greze mo chama rangjin gi teni samyong greze.
So by really coming to a really deep understanding of the suffering of others, we need to view all of these people as good people. We should certainly not have some kind of idea that either these people's suffering is deserved or that they should suffer or anything like that. No, what we really need to do is cast a fervent wish that all people be free from this kind of suffering.
The Jimson Karezana, not so more tamshik the same ganala, Nyarji gotini, Yangji Chongchong, and also Mutamala Yorezi. You now tinity, Nyarji te, Tangazo, Mumambo, Dungurta, Tinti the Machina, then you call on Chongchong, she also same ganala, then you Ndukur Chimbore to Gomarezi, Simson Tama, Dungurta Machina.
Because without knowing the suffering of others and without identifying and empathizing with it, then even though everybody does possess the seed of compassion in their own hearts, without going through this practice of really, growing it and ripening it, then it's not possible for it to grow larger and grow bigger. And accordingly, it's not possible to really come to an understanding of the suffering of others.
Then it take up some also with any moina, Joshua would do the Halipa Tanza Motindi, Hakoyon Vicapse, then also must sit on silk in the same canala. Da, Dumerte so mesona, Dumerte meparesona, Sambadang. Then it's some demoresona, Kiboresona, some giti sambata. Then it also Simpson Tamsa Hajan Dumurian Bati, she's on the Nico Chick Cherry and Rores.
And by our increasing understanding of the suffering of others and empathy with the understanding of others, then our wish for them to be free of suffering and our wish for them to enjoy happiness and obtain happiness will grow bigger and bigger and bigger.
Benangatotini, Zambalonga Sachakashi Latini, Sayum Gabandrada, Zambalonga Sachakashi Latini, Nam Mamba Tamba Gavnitini, Zaki Kunji Mepandrada. Then Mambo was the Yungu or Tingazo, Sanjirka Nava Nala Mambo go orita. Daily young Azotini, Muningazo, Sachatila Soni, Tana, then Azo Sora Jambas Yokeris, Sora Hachon, shoot up what in his Yokeris, Yungeris.
And so what will happen is that when we hear news of people suffering in earthquakes, etc., or through, food safety disasters, etc., that we won't view them as others, people remote from ourselves, that our feeling of compassion for them will really grow in its intensity and strength.
The Jimson Carrera is an Azo Sarshokotoniana, Sanjirkatoni, Nawa Nalanyana, also Jimut in the Jipchai. Yaboza Hako, Tanzamo Hako Mare. Then I also Sachatila Soni Mukashitana, the Hajang Tanzamo, Hajang Saruz Gore, Teko Jimsonji, then also with the Semlayan, then Chorwateyan, Mandavi Jimson, the Tindis race.
And it's through really seeing with our own eyes, seeing live in front of us the suffering of others, not just merely hearing about it or knowing about it at a distance. It's that direct encounter with the suffering from others that will generate a quality of feeling that is quite different to simply second-hand knowledge of suffering of other beings.
Tati Kapsang also with the Semjan Sama with the Dumurti, Tanzam with the Shiondi, then also with the Semganala, then it's Semgatani, then it's also Rank Semgatani, Tam Semjan Teso Tamchu Dumurti Par, Meparesona, Samnitini, Kaji and Nimik attendis Samyungre, Tela, Tanita, Nyarji Zigris, Nyarji Samizigris, Semjan Tamchela Samna, Tanita Tela Nyarji Samizigris.
So as a result of knowing and confronting and coming to understand the suffering of others, the really intense desire and wish that all of these beings be utterly free from suffering and instead enjoy every happiness, the really strong generation of this wish is what we're referring to by the fourth immeasurable of compassion.
Teni ti ramba ni patiri, ta ramba samba ti kangrezina, teni ti kapsi teni to tarung teni chorwa ti yar shitak bore yona, teni kansam karezina, teni ta semchin do chor tamche pola dungur mena samni ngarang ka sem ko samba chamki yong mundu. O ta nge teni semchin do chor dungur ti par mebashi odomodo nge teni ta go ndu samge ti sem ti poba de yong karez. Te ramba samba ti poba di ke yong karez.
So that was the second stage. And then the third stage is with this really fervent understanding of the suffering of other beings, what we need to do then is to really generate the confidence and generate the conviction that I will assist or I will alleviate the suffering of other beings.
Tati kapsa nge semchin doso dungurte mebache gona gangdi na tapshi gandas gone teni dungur mebache go samne samlo tangdi teni o ta sargi sona ngarang sargi shakya ta bandawo teni zre sona teni nge semche mambola teni pantona yakbo to sare teni nge yindamda ngarang njok nyirk teni ngarang sargi go samne teni samyong gore te teni ta ramba samba teni ta nyarji te shangship ko sim teni re songores.
So then this third stage is that when really generating that conviction and wish to personally benefit all living beings, we need to think about how we're actually going to do that. And we need to cast the sincere aspiration that we will achieve Buddhahood in order that we can benefit beings in this way. And when we have cast this really fervent aspiration in the third stage of this practice, then this fourth immeasurable of compassion has become bodhicitta.
Ya tatini shanship ko sem gumsar zenanda jongder shithab zenanda tetindizri.
And this is a practice of the generation of bodhicitta.
Teni ngato terang dina yongken ko tsangma teni titon la samlo yak botang teni ti gum gyawya ti ngato tsangma la rewa yins.
So I have great hope this evening that everybody who's come can really think about these things and really put them into practice through their own meditation.
Teni ngato namgin gandhi rezena teni ngato perna bobandra yinna teni ngato kyumchangshik botela ngato la 저 샤와 람조 요야 되니 겸상식 보텔라 되니 저 나지 차지 메야 되니 그 돈도 되니 가서 라마다 잡아서 가서 겸낭라 용내 되니 저 돈견자 되니 mambo 되니 시기 되니 그 릭토리오레스.
So among us Tibetans, sometimes we've got a tradition of, for the sake of our own family's happiness or for the sake of our own family's prosperity and good fortune, etc., inviting lamas and monks to come to our homes and recite scriptures and prayers.
Tani jamunrao inna tini to namgin tini to sosochi tini shawalamjo yoyata 총람조요야 더니 소소 더니 저도 다 나지 사지 메야 딘지 돈달라 더니 소소 곰방나란조네 더니 초반버야다 더니 뿌퍼네 더니 상지라 그런 거 알아 더니 샤왈람조요야 딘지 지쇼다 더니 네 교라 더니 뿌버거연 지중버거연 지셰거연네 더니 파랍그레스.
And as for Chinese, similarly, they, for the sake of their financial prosperity or the smooth runnings of their own family, good luck in life, etc., have the custom of going to the temple, offering incense before the Buddha and making a prayer, "Oh, Buddha, help me, give me all these things that I want." And as for what the Westerners do, he's not quite sure. Oh yes, but in terms of the things that the Tibetans and Chinese do, there's absolutely no meaning in any of it.
ngaso gyayen nanda boyen nanda nashokpayen nanda sama jantun la samlo tang jampan la samlo tang na teni ngaro so rang ton ti 디 시글안 적용 그래.
So really of what is of greatest essence, what is of greatest importance, regardless of whether we are Tibetan or Chinese or Westerner, is that we think about others, the benefit of others, their happiness and well-being, and not about our own selves.
Tani ngaso gyayena tani chegendu tani jablama so tani ngaso bobaga tani chegre tani ta choba mambon so tani chi targi po mambo le tani ti nangla yone perna ngaso marme chinchona tani chi yenze pantok chi yo mo tela gormo chi goze tani mambo le ne ngaso chongle ge tondala tani lenken yang mambo yores.
So Chinese and Tibetans are both alike in going through all kinds of religious practices, almost kind of like kind of doing a religious kind of business transaction in order to obtain benefits for themselves. This is of even less meaning. This is not Buddhism. It's not. It cannot be classified as Buddhism. What is Buddhism is having great belief in the law of cause and effect. So within religion there is of course the saying, and there are people who say that it's not the Buddha who's going to help us, it's us who needs to help ourselves. And so what they mean by this is by saying that praying to the Buddha has no purpose at all. Oh, and what the meaning of this is that the Buddha's teachings, the Buddha has given us teachings about how to live and how to alleviate suffering. And what our task is to do for ourselves is to apply these teachings, to follow them and do them ourselves. And beyond this, the Buddha can't do anything to help us. It's really up to ourselves to put his teachings into practice. So what the Buddhist faith is and what the Buddhist teaching really is, the core of it is that we have proper belief in the law of cause and effect. That's the first thing. And the second thing, in benefiting others, in compassion. So tonight we've given a teaching on the practice of bodhicitta, which is a very convenient meditation that everybody can apply and everybody can really work on. In addition to this, there are in the Tibetan tradition, in Tibetan language, lots and lots of practices that people can that can also be studied and that can also be practiced. They are available in Chinese. There's lots available in Chinese language and also presumably in English as well. So that brings to conclusion our teaching tonight on bodhicitta and the four immeasurables. thank you to everybody.
Oya teni ta changmala jatti laglenga teni longre teni ta nga chom jingthar changma teni ngwa molum su she teni tera nga cho teni chuchi jipi teni gewi chawan de la teni simchen tamche po nerkubs teni changmala teni cherangwa tang na me pa tang teni demo ke po teni yong teni thartik simchen tamche sargi gombang thoya teni rena samjeta ta ti tenra zu yong shirte teni nge gewan de simchen tamche la par jingin samne teni sam gore tela ngwa zegre na teni nga chu teni gune ngwa shi gore.
So having concluded the transmission, now we will dedicate the merit from tonight's teaching, so that in the short term, all living beings may obtain happiness in terms of their immediate lives, be free from illness, be free from immediate obstacles, and that in an ultimate sense, that they be free from suffering and obtain Buddhahood. That now we will dedicate our merit in prayer.
Sonam de tamja zubanya domne ni be dana banje je ga na je walon driba tribim zolin doa dorwa sho oma hom banzereng ger ba ma sa de hom oma banzereng ger ba ma Sada hong Oma ahong Banzarangara bama Sada